welcome to Lifetime with Dexis episode 2. Last time we worked on the roof and we finished it up, made it nice and waterproof, and while the ceiling still needs plenty of work, the outside of the building is now protected, safe, good. Done. Sort of. Now it's time to work on the interior of the studio, and it's not just going to be this episode that we're going to be doing that. So, one of the first things that needs to get done in here is getting rid of this entire interior wall. That's right. A long time ago, this studio didn't have this wall. It was a completely open design. This wall was used by my dad to paint huge canvas paintings. And he would stand on a raised platform, which is this other room now, and get an elevated view to look at them. And I really like that idea. I want this space to feel big, even though it's only 600 square feet. I feel like with this wall out of the way, it's going to be a much bigger feeling space. I think it's going to work really well for the design that I have in mind. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's got a lot of stuff on it. And I have no idea what any of that stuff is, and neither does anyone else. It's all just mystery boxes up there of who knows what. We've got some theories from my parents. They have some ideas, but nothing concrete. I'm going to take it apart as much as possible. I'm going to try and recycle the various shelves and boards and platforms that they have built into this thing. We need to be somewhat concerned about the stability of the crossbeam that's all the way across the building, supporting the roof. While the roof should be okay on its own, that crossbeam will need some vertical supports along here. I'm thinking this one on the outside edge here and this one over here on the outside edge there will both be good candidates for keeping. So the whole thing won't be completely blank, which is a bit of a bummer, but we'll see how things work out. But for now, today, it's just a matter of getting those boxes down and figuring out what's in them, sorting that stuff out. There's a few steps. There's a few steps involved. Cue the music. Okay, well, that worked. Hey, chill out. First piece is off. Now we gotta try tackling it from the other side. It's funny. I can tell it's nothing to write home about, really. But you have to understand that for my entire childhood, my whole life, I was coming up to this studio where my dad worked, and it looked, like that. It's had this wall here this whole time. To find out that this is how the studio really used to look, and finally be, not completely, but at least in part, seeing it. It's just kind of a big moment. Kind of a big deal. Glimpse into the future, This is, it's only gonna get better. And it already looks pretty sick. I'm picturing it. You gotta picture it without all the trash in there. Layered floors, nice big work table, tech. You gotta imagine it, alright? You gotta be a picture with your mind. Now, if you've been watching my videos, then you know that I subscribe to the notion that it has to get worse before it gets better when you're cleaning up a mess. And look how terrible this all is. Oh my God, I'm not even halfway done. Look at all this incredible mess. Just completely, you can't even walk through this thing. It's completely unmanageable, entirely out of control. Just huge piles of mess and debris taking things off of this wall. And we're not even close to being done. So I can only imagine how great this is going to be when it's all done. That's how that works, right? Right? This might have been a mistake. There is a lot of shit in here. And not a whole lot of space. So maybe taking everything down off of the only storage solution this place had was a bit preemptive. I think it's time to refocus on getting stuff out of here. In order to organize my organizing, that's not a sentence that makes a whole lot of sense. In order to focus my organizational work, I need to focus on here in this corner where I need to fix that window. And down here in the main area where I want to be able to start actually using this space as a workshop, which means that this front space, as well as the loft over in that corner and the storage underneath that staircase area right there, can all be functioning as storage for now. Problem is everywhere is currently functioning as storage, so I need to unstorage all of this stuff and then re-storage it all. Only better. Only much better. Only a lot better. Because it's terrible! The magic of editing. That must have been really nice for you. So, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, Rain. I have a roof now. Oh, it's very dark in here. Let's go! We have light! We're making some good headway. There is floor that I can walk on. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, when I started this project, I thought I wanted to just reclaim everything that's here. Perfectly good, usable material that I'm gonna turn into some kind of fantastic art installation or something. And now I'm looking at this big fucking chair and I'm like, that is a piece of garbage right there. But I told myself I'd try. I told myself that I would try. I told other people that I would try. It's more about telling other people I would try. I told myself that I would try, and I won't let myself down. So let's take apart this chair and see if there's something cool inside. Ha 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 ha. Did I find anything valuable inside the chair? No? Well, that's not entirely true. I actually did find there 49 cents. So, yeah, great. Got a bunch of good nails, bunch of good screws, a little itty bitty springs. Yeah. I don't know how to use none of this. I mean, I think the
burlap
can be used for like gardening and stuff. So maybe I'll use the
burlap
for gardening and stuff. Always good to have a bit more firewood. But the main thing that I got out of this was I got experience, and now I have sort of an idea how rocking armchairs sort of work and are put together. And this is just kind of a taster for what I plan on doing in this studio. I like taking stuff apart like this. I like the idea of knowing what all the pieces of everything are and what they do, and like, you know, It's kind of a nice little arm for an armchair, you know, or potentially turn it into like an axe handle or something, you know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but now it's a piece of something instead of being a garbage piece of shit chair, and that's kind of the main difference. Yeah, now I kind of understand what the heck's in a chair, and this stuff might all be garbage. Some of this fabric actually kind of, I mean, it's terrible, but for what it is, it's not bad. This could be a usable piece of fabric for something. Do I have any fucking idea what that thing is? No. But I mean, it's green with flowers and leaves. So like that's gotta be useful for something. Reduce. Reuse. Ikiki. Okay, well that turned out a lot better than I was expecting. This honestly looks kind of manageable. Like we can access all the pieces of the shit that's here and sort through it and figure it out at our leisure. And this has opened up. I forgot to move the boxes. This has opened up access to the window. We can now just fucking go right up to this thing. And now we can more easily fix this fucking problem. Right here. So, window. No idea what I'm doing. As you can see from our other window, it's held on by these little flimsy pieces of wood right here. They're just nailed onto the side of the building, and I don't feel confident with that. I don't want. I kind of like the window to really be there, you know, to really stay there. Don't want it wandering off on me. Hilariously enough, while I'm looking at this window frame and I'm thinking I need to connect something to these boards on the wall, these very sturdy boards. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So I'm gonna replace those. Pretty sure they're just like 1x8, so that shouldn't be terribly difficult to do. With the horrifying spider's nest that were these shingles now removed, we can take a quick look under the hood and see, even more rotted wood. Fucking fantastic. So this piece of plywood here is going to need to be replaced on this side, or even more fucking horrifying spiders underneath here. There's not as much water damage on this one, probably acceptable. I don't know, this board here seems a little bit on the fence as to whether or not I keep that. So now it's a matter of measuring out these two side spaces, the area that the window is actually going to take up, and then I guess designing how I'm going to make this windowsill. Oh, what was that? Was that a time skip? I think, yeah, I think that was a time skip. Well, anyway. New windows! I know they look ugly, but that's because you got them on the exchange. That's because I got them secondhand, baby. That's because I got them for like $100. That's pretty good. I also got a bench press. These things just happen. Obviously, these windows need to get cleaned before I can put them onto the studio, so that's what we have to do. And God, I really don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up one of those shots where like a quick cut where then like I'm gonna just like snap my fingers and then the glass will be clean, and that way I just won't have to deal with it at all. Oh fuck, I already did the cut. Oh, it already happened. It's over now. It's clean. Just like that. Yep. And it's some pretty clean glass right there. Let's go. With this wood being all rotten as it is, those boards need to come out and get replaced. And what I'm realizing is that there's just a lot of gross gunk on these boards. Even more so, it looks like in the actual wall. When I'm taking this stuff down and all this garbage, this stuff fall down all over everything. So I kind of want to move stuff that's underneath this before I start taking it apart. Unfortunately, one of the things that's beneath it is a fucking kiln. Big honkin' kiln. Not exactly light. So that's a quest train and a half. Not to mention all the rest of this shit. And there it is. We've already gotten to the gross part of the evening, folks. Oh my god. That is just unacceptable. Look at how fucking huge he is. I can't even... Ugh. That is one big fucking guy. Why is this in my walls? Why is it in my walls, Morty? Fucking Aragog motherfucker up in this corner. Holy shit. Well, that's not going to be a very good angle at all, is it? Alright, so today is finally the day that we are going to get the window on the wall. And in order to move this big honking pane of glass, we've got ourselves some Mission Impossible suction cup grippers. But we just push it up against this thing. Let me do this. Oh. We have achieved suction. We finally got the rim on. It's a little rim of wood that goes all the way around, and we've put a little layer of polyester resin on there to make it an even shinier, smoother connection. But now it's a matter of sliding the window up, and we're just going to put it right up against this edge with some of the sealing tape. And hopefully we'll just be able to push it in, let it sink down, just like so. Our butyl sealing tape. Our surface is nice and clean, nice and smooth. Okay, so top part of this kind of stretched out a bit when I was setting it up. So it wound up being a bit thinner than the rest of the layer. So I just got to put on a second layer so it didn't get stretched out. And hopefully, that's definitely going to work. That fixes it right up. No issues. Not a problem. This tape really is the wiggle room for this window. Everything that's like even a little bit off flat, this is where we fix it, because this stuff is just like putty tape. So, taking off the first cover. Now for the top edge, and I have a feeling this one's gonna be the one that sucks. Huh. You know that moment when you had a job you thought was gonna be hard, but then it turned out that it wasn't so hard, but now you're worried you just did it wrong? Yeah, me neither. Now comes the hard part, which is putting on a piece of glass. God, I really wish we had not broken this piece of glass. Really gives you some appreciation for how things are put together.
Oh, I got it. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, you take some weight. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going so straight and nice. With the lid.
Good.
The reason why the first one broke is also we could do this.
Final edging here. You can see we've got some bits that are looks all nice and stuff along there. Until you get to something like this. The corner's not so nice. And the corner's not so nice. But if you look at it from back here, oh, that's a window. And that's all we needed it to be. So alright. Well, this sucked. The whole previous video probably went over about the course of like maybe a month and a few days. This 2 months of just procrastination and not wanting to deal with it. Our reinforcing process basically consists of me making a little shelf for this window to sit on. And originally, what I was planning on doing was reusing some old actual shelf supports that we have just kicking around in the studio. But you can see that the overhang on this window is about 1 inch, and this feels like, well, it might be a bit of overkill. So, I've come up with a different solution. Well, this is not particularly organized. Let's see if we can find anything useful in here. Clamps! I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable just getting the stuff I need and doing it.
Still have yet to retain a regular pencil. Okay. This, rather than being 4 inches across, is almost exactly 3.5. Should work out that if I make a little marking right at the 3.5 point here, that will be a perfect square. It then stands to reason that if I cut in half from this corner to this corner, that should be a 45-degree cut and make a perfect triangle. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a little whirly whirl.
Triangles. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, come on. Obviously, just sticking it there isn't going to do it, so I'm going to go ahead and use these little triangles as supports. And that's just a matter of nailing into the triangle from the top, nailing into the triangle from the bottom, and boom. We've got a support. Look, I don't even need the supports. It's just stuck in there. It's perfect. No, but for real, we're gonna need the supports.
3 hours later.
Oh, that fucking sucked. Everything that could go wrong about this went wrong at some point. The nails busted. The drill broke. The drill bit that I was using for the pilot holes broke. I mean, at this point, it's not moving, but this is a real pain in the butt. Anyway, it's done.
All this can be yours for the low, low price of $120 from Windsor Plywood.
Done. Look at that. Open. Closed. Why don't we just have the chimney sticking out at an angle? Why don't we just have the chimney go like that, huh?
This tinder has probably been in this thing for like, I don't know, years.
Let's fucking burn it. That should mean
Hey, smoke. Wow. Yeah, could I get the slow zoom, please? There it is. Don't laugh, okay? Don't laugh, it's a good chimney. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's on fire. We have a functional wood stove now. This is fantastic for a lot of reasons. One is this is gonna make the studio a heck of a lot nicer just to hang out in and be in over the course of the winter and the freezing months. And the second useful thing, and arguably more important in my case, is that a lot of the stuff that's just taking up space in the studio is random pieces of wood. And now these are obviously pieces of firewood, but we have a lot of things that are just like this. Look at this like edge here. This is clearly supposed to be some piece of a chair or something. That edge is enough reason to like hold on to it. Like this is going to be used for another chair in the future or something. And it's just impossible. Look at this. It's got little like wood rivets that are in there that are busted off now. I don't know. It's worthless. It's useless. However, it can be burned. A lot of random bits and pieces are going to be going into this old thing coming in the coming weeks. Wood stove. I got a bunch of wet, rotten wood from pulling up the deck and stuff as well. I'm gonna stack along the inside edge right here and light that thing up tomorrow. Looks like the stove is running all right. Finally getting a little workout. Well, it's been a few days of cleaning up the studio, and the space is much more open, much more available. You can actually see the floor and like move places without bumping into stuff and throwing it all over the place. Most of that has happened because, as you can see, I have taken the stuff down from the loft, figured out all the garbage that was involved with it, and then replaced it all back up in there with just the stuff that I'm actually going to either use eventually or the stuff that is just not garbage yet. But the last thing we really need to do is we need to get rid of these uprights, final bones of this wall. Once the last little pieces are removed, then that'll be the whole wall gone. Got rid of the nail. And now that's loose. Perfect. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Probably shouldn't have cut off the base first, right? Like that's... Taking the building so much that the power's flickering on and off. I like this saw. This works. This just works. Okay, now that we've done that, we got one down. One down. Two to go. And that was probably the hard one. That kind of hurts my hands. I think this one is a similar situation where when you put it in, put the crossbar down first and nail these boards onto it, like up from underneath. There's no way for me to get the nail to pull it up. I just have to cut it. See on the option. Well, that's bad.
Oh shit, the blade broke, eh?
It didn't even break, it just came
Scott.
out of this.
But it broke off of the saw, or it just came off of the saw?
It looks like it's still all in one piece here, which means the thing that must have broke.
I think it's the part of the saw that broke. Because the lathe is not broken.
So why couldn't you just like give it a kick, and then it wouldn't break the whole thing? It would just
Got a nail.
yeah, but you still get it off.
You think you can just kick through a nail? You can just
Well, you know,
snap off a nail?
you kick the wood, and the wood penetrates through the nail. How do you think people break down doors and stuff?
By
Walls.
breaking the wood.
Yeah.
They don't break the nail.
What I'm thinking is that enough force can get anything off.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely. If I just applied enough force, I could break anything in this whole building. The problem is I don't want to break the building. I want to take apart the building.
Break the building. I don't think it would break the building by kicking that off. But
Well, you would break this piece of wood. You'd probably bust through, like...
oh yeah, you want to save the 2x4s.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to use them to reinforce this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. Yep.
I like it, though. My question is, why can't you just hit it really hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not flying off. That's good. Well, but that's my standard now. It's like,
Blade doesn't fly off, but it's working.
Ah, see, I knew it wasn't load bearing.
winner.
Look at this. Well, here you have it, folks.
It's finally ready.
I've managed to turn what used to be an absolute dumpster fire into now just a messy studio. It legitimately looks like a place where people can work and craft and do stuff without fearing for their lives. Oh, don't look over there. Don't just... So nice. Okay, so there might be a few more spots left in the studio that are a little bit messy. Still need a little bit of work. Just a little bit of like touch-up stuff where, you know, like just, you know, cleared a little bit. But that's for next episode. If you don't want to miss that, you know, hit that subscribe button. You know, if you don't care about missing that, you know, still hit that subscribe button. Am I right?